Hi, this is Janine, and we are in my super messy sewing room, but I just wanted to put together a really quick update video to follow up on my last video and the jacket that I was working on. So after looking at the video of the jacket and some comments that I got, I decided that that was absolutely the wrong pattern for me to use. So I dug through my pattern stash and I found a different one to try. One that I had around, and looking at the pattern photo, I never would have thought of using a jacquard, but then I actually read the back of the pattern and it said jacquard is suggested, and I had plenty of fabric. So for the diamond jacquard, I decided to use Burda 6616, this particular version. And I'm kind of pleased because I have it partially done. I'm just going to show you where I am with it. Just a minute. So this is the jacket. It is a princess seam jacket. I made the long version. I would have gotten further with it last weekend. However, I need 3 zippers for it. One for the front and one for each pocket. And it has to be lined. So I'm waiting for the zippers. I've ordered zippers. But I think this looks so much better than the other one did. It fits pretty well. This is right out of the envelope. I might have to do some tweaking of the princess seams, but I'm pretty happy with this. So while I wait for zippers, I've been buying fabric. And let me show you what I bought. Before I get started with what I bought, I am wearing, this is Cashmerette Springfield tank. I don't know if I've talked about this here. I posted it on my blog. Great summer top. Love the fabric. It's a rayon. But here's what I bought this week. Here in Atlanta, we're really lucky because there are several independent fabric stores. In addition to Joann and Hobby Lobby, which is where I do a lot of my fabric shopping because it's the most convenient place for me, we have 2 outlets of a company called Gail K, which is a really good sized store that carries almost any kind of garment fabric you could want. They don't sell anything but garment fabrics, and they're very helpful. They've been in business a long time and they know a lot about fabric. We also have a place called Fine Fabrics, which is massive. It's about half of a football field just of bolts of fabric. They seem to mostly have garment fabrics, but they don't really cater just to the home sewist. They do a lot of work with people who are in the entertainment industry. There are a lot of films and TV shows filmed here, so that's who they seem to cater to mostly. But they've got lots of trim and interesting things like that. There are several small quilt fabrics stores. There is a new store that opened, I think, a couple of months ago that specializes in lace and kind of fancy fabrics. I've not been there yet. But the place that I tend to shop at most if I'm going to an indie shop is Topstitch Fabrics. Topstitch Studio and Lounge. They opened maybe a year and a half ago in a very small storefront in an area of Atlanta called Decatur. For me, it was about a 45-minute drive on a Saturday, but I did go down several times. And I also have bought fabric from them on their website because they are so quick to ship things. I can order something on Monday and have it on Tuesday. And given Atlanta's traffic, it's worth it for me to pay for the shipping. But last weekend, they had a grand opening of their new store, which is in a closer in area, closer to the center of Atlanta. Called Ponte City Market. They have opened a huge store that has a massive sewing studio so they can teach classes. And their classes are full. Their classes are full of people who are young, people who are old, males, females, beginners, people who have experience. They do a booming business in classes, which is wonderful to see. And they have really interesting fabrics, so I like going there. When I went down for the grand opening on Saturday, every sewing machine was filled with someone who was trying sewing, which was terrific to see. So I went down on Saturday to look at the fabric. Unfortunately, I brought my husband with me, and he thinks that 30 minutes is plenty of time to buy fabric. So I kind of quickly went in and grabbed what I wanted. And what I was looking for on Saturday was fabric to go with the jacquard jacket. The first piece of fabric that I bought is a cotton, so actually it's a rayon. Feels like a cotton voile. It's very lightweight. It is teal with these pink birds and little white trees. It almost looks like a woodcut design. And I think what I'm going to make is that simplicity pattern for the tunic that I made up a couple of weeks ago that has the wrist ties. Can't remember the number. But this will look quite nice underneath the jacquard. You can't really see it in this light, but it's going to be a good match for that jacquard jacket. The other thing I bought was a piece of Art Gallery cotton jersey. This fabric is wonderful for t-shirts because it maintains its shape, it maintains the color, and it's got enough weight to it that it doesn't cling to you. So it's more like a ready-to-wear t-shirt. So I got 1.5 yards of this. It's kind of a whimsical floral. Black dots, cream background, coral flowers, and little turquoise or teal leaves. It can be worn underneath that jacquard jacket, I think, but if not, it's something that I'll wear on weekends probably. The pattern I plan to use for this is the grain line lark tee. I'm going to make it with the V-neck and with 3/4 length sleeves. Since I only had half an hour to shop, I had to go back yesterday. We had a work meeting in the building, so I decided to stop in and do a little more shopping. And when I went in, I had someone from work with me, a friend of mine who, when we walked in, she said, "I don't sew, Janine. I'm just going to go get a cup of coffee." And then she decided to come in and have a look around. Within 10 minutes, she was asking them if they had beginner sewing classes, which tells you something about what people want. I think people want to learn to sew, especially when they see interesting things made up in the stores, things that look accessible to them in fabrics that they want to wear. So I thought it was fantastic that she was interested in classes, and I really hope that she follows up on that. I don't really want to teach her, but I hope she goes and takes a class there. But while we were there yesterday, I only bought fabric for one garment. And what I bought was, the light doesn't get thrown off. This is a burgundy Ponte. I used this same Ponte in dove gray to make a jacket in the spring. It's beautiful to work with. It has great bounce back, holds its color. So when I picked it up, I thought I was going to make yet another jacket with this. Lee suggested that I might want to make True Bias Lodo. So I decided to give this a try. Lee had this made up in the store so I could look at it, and I really liked the shape of it. But what I liked most is the neckline. This beautiful neckline. It finishes really nicely because you use a cotton for the neck facing. So I picked up this piece of cotton lawn that I'm going to use for the neck facing, and I also think that I'm going to use a Hong Kong finish on the seams with this beautiful lawn. Lee told me that I should expect to finish that dress in 45 minutes. I don't believe it. It's going to take me 3 days, but that's what I'm going to start working on this weekend. So that's what I've bought, and that's what I'm planning to make up soon. The zippers are on the way for my jacket. Just have to do the zippers, throw in the lining, and put in the little stand collar. I'm going to try and make the dress this weekend, and I'm trying to be a little more productive in my sewing because my output has dropped off for some reason. I don't know why. I'm finding too many other things to do, but I've got all this fabric and I can't buy any more until I make things. So that's what I'm working on. I just wanted to give you an update on my jacket question. Thanks so much to everyone who watched and commented. Thanks to everybody who subscribes. I will see you soon.